understanding the segregative clues and why Danger Zone is tied to Top Gun. But within GTA and its relation to Top Gun, we have something in common.
I feel the need for speed.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Woodz. And in this video, you guys, we're going to look at some very, very important dualities. And what I mean by dualities are a lot of the parodies that GTA has taken over the years. Okay, now I'm gonna keep this video as short with, I guess, my ramblings as possible, but I want you guys to pay attention to just a video that was uploaded by a channel called Watch Mojo. Now, if you're not inclined to understand what they just do a bunch of top 10 lists. I would say go subscribe to them because they're a pretty good channel. But the fact here is that they made a video today, and I want to talk about a lot of the things that they reference because it's all factual. But the thing of it is that we always misinterpret why these things are actually factual, like, you know, why they actually choose certain movie references and so on and so forth. And once again, this is what has to do with a lot of the process that I teach here on my channel, that a lot of people, you know, look at as just connecting. Now, the thing is that there is one major thing that I'm leaving out here, okay, so that people can find it on their own. So if it doesn't connect to you and it just looks like it's connection, it's because most likely you haven't, you know, searched for the right things in the right order. And again, I've showed this order in many different examples, but what we're going to do here is just do something very simple. We're going to watch a YouTube video. We're going to watch this video and we're going to decipher each bit of these different references, but we're going to show exactly why they're all part of this pattern and part of this algorithm that we have learned thus far, and why it all amounts to certain keys that they are teaching us inside of the movies that they clearly love and are referencing within their games.
I think it's safe to say that the Grand Theft Auto series has borrowed heavily from Hollywood over the years. And if you don't believe me, just watch.
He's got a blade! Stop running, you fat slime ball!
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 GTA moments ripped straight from the movies.
This show's garbage.
Oh, come on!
You don't have to kill a shot, man.
Jeez.
For this list, we're looking at moments throughout the Grand Theft Auto series that borrowed extensively from a particular scene in a movie. To be clear, we won't be discussing little blink-and-you-miss-it references, like Nigel and Mrs. Thornhill doing the not worthy bow from Wayne's World towards Trevor.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
I'm not Jock,
No, stick around. Hang out with us.
Cool. Yeah, we'll stay and hang around with you. With Alice Cooper.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Now, I want you guys to pay attention, okay? Because there's an answer right in front of you, but that's only if you paid attention thus far. But we're going to pay attention to what I showed just a few videos ago, okay? Mike Myers, or should I say Austin Powers.
Instead, we're looking at elaborate moments from missions or random scenarios that borrow heavily from or straight up rip off parts of various films.
Alright, I'm down.
Number 10, say goodnight, Mr. Diaz. Grand Theft Auto, Vice City.
Been saving for a rainy day.
This famous moment, in which Lance Vance, don't laugh, and Tommy Vercetti kill Ricardo Diaz and take over his mansion, is lifted shot for shot from the 1985 movie To Live and Die in L.A.
Don't forget about me.
I won't.
In the movie, Willem Dafoe's Eric Masters kills attorney Max Waxman in the exact same manner.
No, Jesus, no!
In the movie and game, both shots are from the perspective of the victim looking up at the perpetrator with a gun, the barrel of the gun pointing directly at the camera. A gunshot is then heard, and a brilliant flash of white light fills the screen as the victim is shot in the head, presumably. Needless to say, it's pretty badass and pretty morbid at the same time.
Say goodnight, Mr. Diaz.
To Live and Die in L.A. Edited by M. Scott Smith. Great Scott. Original music soundtrack by Wang Chung. one of their albums named Mosaic.
Number 9, drug deal goes wrong, Grand Theft Auto 5. In the lawless rural outback of Los Santos, players can stumble across an ominous scene in which various trucks are parked in a circle, complete with dead bodies and a few stunned survivors in a drug deal that's gone wrong.
Yeah, motherfuckers, they took the money on the hill.
You can also pick up a briefcase containing money, but 2 trucks will chase after you in pursuit of their sweet, sweet green if you do so.
Should've known that was too good to be true.
This is all extremely reminiscent of Llewellyn Moss coming across the scene of a failed drug deal in the Coen brothers' masterpiece, No Country for Old Men.
Oh.
He too decides to take a briefcase containing drug money, wherein, you guessed it, trucks chase after him in pursuit. Spoiler alert, doesn't end well for him.
Well, this is just a deal gone wrong, isn't it?
Yeah. Appears to have been a glitch, too.
No Country for Old Men. Produced by Scott Rudin. Let's look at the cast. We have Tommy Lee Jones, okay, who was from Batman, Volcano, and Men in Black, where in the third one, they were going back in time. Not only that, but Mr. Woody Harrelson is in this movie. And he has some very, very blue eyes.
Number 8. Tommy becomes Jason Voorhees. Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
I told you not to touch that alarm! The SWAT team will be here any minute.
While the GTA series borrows heavily from films, you'd never think that they would steal from a horror movie, and yet here we are. During the bank heist, Tommy dresses in a dark green boiler suit and sports a goalie mask. If this looks familiar, you're clearly a fan of slasher flicks. And this exact outfit is the one that Jason Voorhees dons in Friday the 13th Part 3. And that's not all, because a giant machete is also available as a melee weapon in the game. By throwing on the Jason outfit and running amok in Vice City with his machete, Tommy Vercetti effectively becomes the acclaimed boogeyman of the Friday 13th series.
Now what we're going to look at is Jason Voorhees, okay? Now the fact is, you guys, is that over the years, this man has been played by a litany of different characters, okay? Now whether it was understanding how to cast the Kane, as it was said within the Epsilon Tract, and we were to understand, once again, a Kane, we would even be drawn into an actor that played him, or even understanding CJ. It's all within that repetitive sense of understanding those names and the segregation of them. But the strongest clue here we have within it is a Dick and or Richard Broker. And coincidentally, apparently, he starred as Jason in Friday the 13th, Part 3. The very first movie that they were going to reference within Jason's Easter egg. So think about it, you guys. They reference a specific suit in a specific Jason movie tied to who played Jason in this one, only to reference a lot of the different Richards in the game. Think about it.
Number 7. Thelma and Louise car. Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, shit! Well, wow! How'd you, what'd you say?
This game is packed to the brim with exciting moments to stumble across, including this very clear Thelma and Louise reference. During a specific time of day, players can encounter a dramatic scene in which a car is parked precariously close to the edge of a cliff, with numerous police cars and helicopters behind it. Before an officer can approach the vehicle, it speeds away, careening off the cliff to the occupant's fiery death. This exact scenario is the ending of Ridley Scott's Thelma and Louise, in which the titular heroes drive off a cliff and into the sunset. Well, into the canyon floor, but that's not as romantic, I guess.
Now, what I want you guys to pay attention to here is something that was pretty obvious from the second that the guy said it, and that was who directed this film, Mr. Ridley Scott. Okay, not only a tie right back into Alien and a lot of the clues that I showed you guys before and why they referenced Alien, but also Miss Gina Davis, and not only the ties from Davis within the game, okay, Davis Street, and also Lamar Davis, it's all ties within segregation of names, okay, tying right back into Beetlejuice, a 1988 film, okay, and not only that, but The Fly, and who she was fucking married to, Jeff Goldblum.
Number 6. Love Fists Limo. Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Gotta find it, Bob! Can't we just drive around all day? I was getting plenty to drink.
In this pain-in-the-ass mission, Tommy is forced to drive around Vice City at insanely high speeds because the limo he is driving will explode if it dips below a certain speed. While it makes for an exciting concept, it was found almost a decade earlier in the movie Speed, which saw Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock driving a bus through the streets of Los Angeles at high speeds for the exact same reason.
There is a bomb on this bus. If we slow down, it'll blow.
This wasn't the first time that GTA stole from Speed, as a very similar mission, simply titled Bus, was found in the very first game of the series.
Now, I want you guys to understand for the umpteenth time, you guys, a segregation of a last name, Mr. Claude Speed, okay? Not only understanding this movie for 1994, which is tied into a lot of the aspects of Jurassic Park that I brought up a long time ago, but understanding the references to Keanu Reeves, a tie to The Matrix, but not only that, but even Dennis Hopper, okay? Dennis motherfucking Hopper. I want you guys to think about this, okay? Steve Scott, okay? The duality of Steven Spielberg here, and guess who he was voiced by? Dennis fucking Hopper, okay? I'm telling you guys, they do this shit for fucking reasons, time and time again, and you know why? For it ties right back into the truth, like Easy Rider in 1969, and even Peter fucking Fonda, okay? Now, if you don't know who the fuck this is the man who voiced the fucking truth in GTA. It's all one big algorithm, and it's one big mosaic, you guys.
Number 5. Sewer chase through Los Santos. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. The mission, Just Business, sees CJ and Big Smoke driving a bike through the sewer tunnels of Los Angeles, or Santos, whatever, pursued by bikes and cars. While this chase borrowed heavily from the chase in To Live and Die in LA, the big steal comes from when a black truck blows through the railing of a bridge above the heroes in slow motion in order to join the chase. This is directly lifted from Terminator 2 Judgment Day, when the truck driven by the T-1000 does the exact same thing in the exact same manner. Luckily, CJ does not have to deal with a mimetic polyalloy.
Now, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, okay? Now, among this being a time-traveling movie, I want you guys to pay attention to the fact that I brought up fucking James Cameron before, okay? Now, not only does Rob Patrick have to do with this shit, but I want you guys to pay attention to another fucking dick, okay? Richard A. Harris, okay? Again, this is one big fucking algorithm tying to one significant truth. Now, I want you guys to not get too fucking fixated on trying to make something physical out of this, because one of the biggest points of how to understand this algorithm is part of understanding your research. Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay? Now, if we were going to understand segregation once again, we were going to understand a big part of his whole little fucking filmography here. And as you see, okay, staying within the algorithm of segregation and rearranging, okay, no different, we're going to look at 1988, okay, a movie that he was in called Twins, okay. Now, Twins starred, once again, Danny DeVito, okay, someone who played Frank on Always Sunny in fucking Philadelphia, okay. Now, time and time again, these are all tied to these little things that they want you to pay attention to. I mean, it wouldn't matter even if you were to watch fucking Space Jam and notice that this guy was the main fucking alien that fucking housed those little aliens to go and fucking... It's all one big tie to the same clues, you guys. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Think about it, you guys.
Number 4. Michael pulls down a house. Grand Theft Auto 5.
Come here! Ah!
We think it's safe to say that Michael has kind of a temper. It's fitting then that when he catches his wife sleeping with her tennis coach, he goes berserk and literally rips down what he believes to be the coach's house by tying a rope to the house's foundation poles and driving away. Michael is a movie buff, so it's possible that he got the idea from Lethal Weapon 2, wherein Riggs does, yes, the exact same thing with equally destructive results. Both are a little unhinged, so we suppose it's understandable. Props if you use Michael's long hair for this mission, as you look more like Riggs.
Now realize, you guys, that complete scene, okay, was completely ripped from the movie. Shit that I've been trying to tell you guys about, okay? Now, not only that, but there's another dick that has directed this fucking film, and his name is Richard Donner, okay? Once again, tied to segregations of different names, okay? Now, it wouldn't matter if we were to look at that, or even Mel Gibson, okay? Now, do me a favor, you guys. Tell me, what color are Mel Gibson's fucking eyes?
Number 3, the Puerto Rican Connection, Grand Theft Auto 4.
Man, who the hell ever heard of a metrosexual ex-gangster, man? I'm a lord, man, not a lady. This show's gonna make me famous. You are gonna be famous.
In this mission, the completely annoying and totally street Manny asks you to kill someone who has been making fun of him and his videos. To do this, Nico must track down a train on the rails above the streets of New York City, or Liberty City, whatever, zipping and zagging through traffic as he tries to keep an eye on the train above.
What do you mean?
If the title didn't immediately give it away, this mission is a clear reference to the French Connection, in which Gene Hackman trails a hitman who's on an L train in the exact same fashion. Except in this case, Nico is the hitman doing the trailing. It's almost the same thing.
The French Connection, okay? Starring Mr. Gene Hackman, okay, who was in that scene. Now, he's most noted for his 1978 film, which is Superman the movie, but he's also known within his background to be born in San Bernardino, California, the son of Eugene Urza Hackman and Anna Aiden Elizabeth, okay? He has one brother, Richard, okay, a dick. He has Pennsylvania Dutch blood, okay? One more tie right back into Pennsylvania and Philadelphia. And he is English and Scottish, okay? Think about it. He also was real friends with Dick Van Dyke. You know, Dick Van Dyke being most known for Bye Bye Birdie and even Mary Poppins. Literally the first movie produced by Walt Disney with live action people, which ties right into Fred's Pictures and why it's a duality to Mickey Mouse and Disney. But not only that, but why this all amounts to pretty much Fred Quincy, okay, who actually is a big tie to Solomon Richards, okay, another dick. Now, the fact is, you guys, is that, once again, this is going to tie down to a segregation of a name, okay? It will, eventually, because people need to understand that this is what the mystery was intended for. It was intended to be pieced together like one huge mosaic puzzle.
Number 2, the whole game is basically Scarface. Grand Theft Auto, Vice City.
Vice City is 24 karat gold these days. The Colombians, the Mexicans, hell, even those Cuban refugees are cutting themselves a piece of some nice action.
If there's one movie that Vice City owes its existence to, it's definitely the 1983 classic, Scarface.
I guess that's a perspective thing. Hey, Doing time for the family is no piece of cake, but the family looks after its own, okay?
Practically the whole game is molded after this movie, including the concept itself of a low-level drug dealer turning into a cocaine kingpin of Miami. Well, it's Vice City this time. Yeah.
You better not be screwing me, Tommy, because you know I'm not a man to be screwed with.
Other clear references include Tommy and Tony's Hawaiian shirts, the bloody apartment chainsaw killings, the Malibu Club modeled after the Babylon Club, the Vercetti Mansion modeled after Tony's, and the final shootout in which scores of enemies raid the hero's mansion in an attempt to kill him for his betrayal.
Say hello to my little friend!
It's as if they took the script for Scarface and just scratched out Tony's name and penciled in Tommy above it in red ink.
No one to cover your ass now, eh, Tommy? You're going down, you backstabbing.
And now we have an 80s film, Scarface, okay? Not only known for it being distributed by Universal Pictures, okay, a big part of these Universal clues, but also known for Al Pacino, okay, and his many ties to a lot of different fucking mob movies that GTA honestly has embellished in time and time again, like Godfather and Scarface and a lot of different other things that they've, you know, made different reference to, like even Heat. But I want you guys to pay attention to a big part of these clues once again that are going to come in repetition, like 88 and 88 Minutes, okay, where he played Dr. Jack. Now, once again, this is all part of these different clues that they want you guys to understand. Just like Dick Tracy, okay?
Number 1, armored truck robbery. Grand Theft Auto 5.
Get ready to do your thing. All right, Mike, move it.
This brilliant mission, Blitz Play, sees all 3 of our heroes robbing an armored truck by blocking its route and knocking it on its side using their own truck. This mission's a clear reference to the truck robbery from Heat, wherein the exact same scenario plays out. Both the film and game include the truck ramming, blowing the door with explosives, taking hostages at gunpoint, and even the Navy jumpsuits with goalie masks, although we prefer the monkey head. Rockstar are clearly fans of Heat, and come on, who isn't, as the bank heist from GTA 4 is also heavily modeled after the famous shootout from said movie. They go together like peanut butter and jelly, I guess.
I've seen combat like this since Belfast. The cash is on!
Now, I want you guys to pay attention to Heat, okay? Not only well known for Al Pacino, but Robert De Niro, okay? And it's also known for Val Kilmer, someone who played, once again, Batman, okay? Now, I want you guys to really pay attention to the certain clues and repetitive names that are going to be popping up, and especially tied to the cast, okay? Like, once again, Dennis, okay? Or even Ricky, or even Richard, okay? They're all ties to aspects of clues that tie into the answer, okay? And this is no different than understanding Trejo and why they used his actual name in as Danny Trejo, okay? Danny Trejo is well known within a lot of different films. I mean, he's been in almost everything, but the point here, you guys, is that he's really, really important and tied to a lot of the different clues that lead into the answer, once again, like Machetes, or even Breaking Bad, X-Files, or even Sons of Anarchy, and the Biker DLC that just recently showed itself. Now, the point, you guys, is that these are ties into things that tie into the answer. It's a portal, okay? Each one is an entry into the maze, and they have different paths to take, but they're all leading toward the fucking cheese. All you have to do is take a path. Now, aside from Dan Trejo, I want you guys to understand another Dan, but we're going to get there, okay? One thing we're just going to do is follow a portal, okay? An entryway into the maze, okay? Mr. Jason Voorhees, going back and understanding why they would reference him, okay? And why they would even give two fucks about referencing, you know, another character that's been in GTA 5 as a mask, and that is, you know, Freddy Krueger, okay? But why this ultimately ties together, you guys, okay? Conjoining these clues for Freddy versus Jason, okay? Now, the point here, you guys, is that we needed to pay attention to not only Jason, but Freddy just as well. And once we did, we understood why nightmares and dreams are all relevant in this mystery, okay? But most notably, why they need to amount to certain numbers, like GTA 5, or why it would amount to Nightmare on Elm Street, or even the number 5. we're going to do simply that and go to Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 5.
I'm calling about my wayward ex-son Daniel, who's been acting like an ungrateful, unmanageable dickweed ever since he was seduced by that bimbo slut whore Alice.
Mom? If I were you, lady, I'd kill the ungrateful piggy. Put your pedal to the metal, Dan! Back here, Dan! Better buckle up, dear.